Hello world, welcome to the 249th climate change emergency protest here in Gettysburg, Pennsylvania. The wind is starting up again, and I assume it's the result of not only a front coming through, but also the hurricane that's 1,000 miles south, and another hurricane that's out in the Atlantic, another 1,000 miles to the east, southeast. So it's pulling a lot of air, so it's probably what's going on here. Next week it's going to be in the upper 90s here in Gettysburg, Pennsylvania. So that's equal to 36 point something Celsius, if you get an idea. So this is number 249, climate change emergency protest. I choose to say climate change emergency protest because we have crimes committed against us as a society and life on Earth in general. And so it's climate change. And next week is number 250. That'll be on September 8th. This is August 30th, 2023. So the Atlantic Ocean has been the hottest on record. It's only, okay? It's only as if, this has always happened. It's only this, it's only that. You hear this from friends, family, people I meet on the street. I was talking to someone last week, and he was like, oh yeah, it always gets hot in the summer, or it's always, it's whatever. But they're not getting it. The Atlantic Ocean has been the hottest on record. The worldwide ocean temperature has been the hottest on record. The worst mass death on record for the United States just occurred in Hawaii and Maui with the fires. The hottest Gulf of Mexico, the hottest temperature in the Gulf of Mexico around the Keys, the Florida Keys, was 101 degrees recently. The largest, this is all since July basically. The largest wildfire is happening in Louisiana right now in its history. That's the state of Louisiana for you from around the world. The largest wildfire is happening right now in Canada in their history. Never before, Category 4 hurricane just hit Big Bend in Florida, the opening area. Oh, there's a bug, that was weird. Oh, that's a nasty little stinger. Okay, so in Big Bend in Florida, Category 4 just pushed into there. It's now a Category 1, I think, going into Georgia and whatnot. The hottest July on record in the history of humanity, 120,000 years, just happened this last July. The whole month of July was the hottest ever in humanity. The lowest sea ice extent is occurring in Antarctica right now, and it's their winter. The 100-degree days, there's 100 degrees down in South America right now, and it's their winter, okay, certain places in South America. That shouldn't happen. You had the Greek fires, you had the Chinese floods, you had Japan floods, you have the Horn of Africa, longest drought in 40 years with 37 million suffering or in hunger or starving to death. How you doing? And then we had olive trees destroyed in Spain, Italy, and Greece. We have flooding in the Arabian Peninsula. You have Himalayas, Pakistan melting quickly. Just crazy stuff. I could keep going and going and going. I'm standing in the middle of a creek bed that's been dry for basically 2.5 months. This should be full of water at any given point, flowing smoothly down. So this spills downhill, though, basically, as rivers do, in that this creek has no water. Therefore, the river downstream, the next stream that's bigger, has no water coming into it. That stream then has little water going into the next stream. Everything's connected in some way. So it doesn't help with the vegetation, doesn't help with the wildlife. I don't know where the animals are getting their water at all. So the leaders have failed us. You have governments failing us, failed to protect us. What's going on? These things are catastrophic that is happening. If you're in the middle of these things that are happening, it's catastrophic. If you're on the outside watching it, it's an event, okay? But eventually, we're all going to have these catastrophes visited upon us. And you're going to start seeing it either to you or your friends. Someone you know is going to start encountering climate change catastrophe. And it's only going to get worse and worse, and your governments are not only not protecting you, but they're failing deliberately, okay? They're engaged in policies that are killing us and will kill us as a society and all life on Earth. We're in this middle of the sixth mass extinction. I know it sounds crazy to say that. Please go on YouTube, check out climate change, type in sixth mass extinction, check out Paul Beckwith, Environmental Coffee House, Peter Carter, Facing Future, things like that on YouTube. You need to educate yourself. Maybe not you guys that are listening right now, but tell your friends and family and people you run into about this on YouTube. You can educate yourself. Even if you think I'm full of crap, I don't care. but I'm letting you know ahead of time that things are happening badly right now, and we can't survive this. The noose is getting tighter, and literally it's a noose, and that we're all committing suicide on ourselves and murder by not engaging the politicians, by voting for the same politicians who are deliberately killing us. Every party, the two top parties in the United States, are engaged in policies, okay? Don't argue semantics about they say this, they say that. It's what they're doing, okay? The Democratic Party right now has done policies with Joe Biden that are horrendous for the environment, all right? So as far as climate change goes, and that's all I care about now. I don't care about any other issue that's going on. All right, unless you get a guy that's coming in that will win, that's going to go on a retribution campaign and reenact some sort of retribution on everyone that he feels went against him. And they will win, right, this time. The candidate, Joe Biden, they're putting up for office right now, isn't going to win. It's going to be a landslide against them, and you don't know it, and you think you have a chance, and you don't. The system was constrained for the Democrats in that they built a wall so that no outside parties could come in and win. So they have first round voting is based on the primaries. And if there's no clear-cut winner, which if you have an outside challenger, usually there's no clear-cut winner as far as delegates go. The second round, the super delegates, meaning senators and congressmen, party insiders, are allowed to vote for the president as far as who they want. Well, it's a done deal at that point. But the walls they constrained to keep the outsiders out are now constrained to allow Joe Biden to stay in as the nominee. He's a buffoon. Face up to it. All right, he can't. Is this the best you have? This guy that's engaged in policies that are engaged in murder and things like that? Then you have the other party who this guy's a megalomaniac, psychopath with his behavior, as is this guy that's in charge right now with his behavior towards the environment. They're all crazy, and they're engaged in policies and will have policies that will kill you. And the question is at what point will the governments lose control, start enacting martial law, and start rounding up people and executing them summarily on the streets? Because this will happen worldwide. When governments get out of control, they enact martial law, meaning curfews. Then what they do is at that point, when they perceive enemies, they either lock them up or execute them. You saw this in Chile way back under Pinochet. It's the same situation. You round up your political enemies, throw them in jail, execute them, people disappear, things like that. So now my question is to everyone, and this includes everyone that I'm talking to too. I don't know what you're doing, what you're not doing, your choice on your things, but what will it take until you realize, and this is your friends and family too, and you can say to them, what will it take till you realize we're in a dire strait right now? We're this close from utter catastrophe, all right? This close, getting really, really close, and the noose is closing in tighter and tighter. The thumb screws are now twisted down on your thumb, and you cannot get away without major damage. That's where we're headed. So you vote the same, get the same on that issue. Hi, how you doing? So this is a busy little place now. New leaders, you need new leaders. If you vote the same, get the same, you have to get new leaders. That's all there is to it. You can't have this guy in the Republican Party win. You can't have this guy in the Democratic win. You can't have the Democrat insiders win. You can't have the Republican insiders win. Everyone needs to step up and suck it up and realize, give up on your party. All right. If you can't change the party from without, then you need to change them within by bailing on them or putting extreme pressure, and I mean extreme pressure, on the party insiders to change your ways. And a lot starts from the local level. You don't have time to goof around, though, on this one. Next president's going to be going through a horror show, and it requires a younger guy or younger woman to handle this situation that actually knows what's happening. You cannot have some old dottery guy or some old crazy guy in charge anymore. That's just the way it is. And you figure out who's the dottery one and who's the crazy one, because I can't tell the difference between the two. So you need new leaders in charge. You need new actions. This is bigger than all the wars combined, and we are losing horribly right now. All right, people don't realize how bad we're losing the situation. But if you look at all these events, and this is a tiny fraction of the events that I just named off, we are losing badly, and we will not come out of this on the other side at all alive. Unless we change our ways, we might have a fighting chance. I don't know about that. But right now, the path we're on and the policies they're engaged in are going to kill us. All right, they are killing us right now. Hawaii had 100-some deaths. Arizona and 2 counties alone had 100-some deaths due to heat. I mean, this is just racking up bodies every day. If this was a war and the U.S. Army was involved, people would be horrified. Oh my God, 100 people died. Oh my God, 4 died, 5 soldiers, 18 soldiers, 1,000 died. You know, it's like, but no, if it's climate change, they just attribute it to something else. Natural causes, that's what happens. So we're losing horribly. Hopefully you all will get on YouTube. Please get on YouTube. As soon as you're done watching this, pick one subject, climate change, and listen to it. There are some for 2 minutes, there are some for 8 minutes, there are some for an hour in some symposiums. You can become very well educated what's going on. Even if you think you know what's going on, you don't know what's going on. So please go on YouTube after you're done with this, and I seriously doubt anyone even got this far in the video. So I'll catch you next week, and that'll be number 250. See you later.